Let's talk about some books that will get you inspired to live life. We currently live in a system that is going at breakneck pace. But whilst it is going at breakneck pace, you do not get any benefit from it. There's a very small percentage of those of us in our society that benefit from the rest of us working at breakneck pace, working to the bone, and also having no time to actually live. Oftentimes, we will go to work, we will go to school, we will be drained from all of it, we will see very little recompense for that work we do, and when we get home, we are fed basically a media diet, and also, I suppose, an actual food diet that doesn't help us, that doesn't enlighten us. This isn't me trying to come across as a conspiracy theorist. This isn't me trying to get you to join a cult. However, if you do want to become a member, you can become a member from as little as £1 a month, where you get access to the membership book club tier. If you want, you can do that by hitting join on my channel down below or on this video. However, this is me actually trying to give you something that may inspire you to go off and do more. Again, reading these books isn't the main solution. To actually go off and live your life, you actually have to do it. You know, these books might be something that give you the itch, that make you want to be like, damn, I've got to just make a change. I've got to do something. But you got to do it. None of these are self-help books. None of these are those weird business adjacent books that, you know, your manager on LinkedIn loves talking about. It's none of that. All of these are fiction books or non-fiction books, which not only will inspire you, but will hopefully help make you a better individual in a way that is not beneficial to the system, like many of these business self-help books are, but to actually benefit you and probably those around you. The first book I want to talk about is If Cats Disappeared from the World. This book is my favorite book, and actually the members did get a video all about the movie as part of the book club tier, so if you want access to that, £1 a month, just gonna have to plug it again. This book is basically telling you and showing you, hey, how much do you value your life, and actually how much do you value the experiences you have had in your life and how much they have shaped you as an individual. Brief synopsis. The main character is going to die. They are going to die tomorrow. They are met by the devil, and the devil gives them an option. Erase one thing from this world and you get to live another day. However, the thing that gets erased is something that is important to you. And as our main character experiences the loss of these things that may feel mundane, but they are actually things that have helped shape them, help make them a better person, help make them who they are. And it is them learning the value of these things and the connections that these things create. It is them learning the value of having lived their life every single day, and if they have lived a life where when they go, if they go, will they be remembered positively? Will they be remembered as someone who has touched others? Again, we are pushed into a society where we don't have time to meet our friends. We can't go out. There's no free spaces. When I was a kid, I could go to the park with my friends. Well, actually no, my local park was quite dangerous. I could go out with my friends. There were community centres. There were youth centres when I was young. Nowadays, young people don't have community centres. Young people don't have youth centres. Those have been cut. There was no budget for that because of austerity. Even as adults, to go out and meet my friends, I can't really sit around in a park because there are very few parks nowadays. I can't go out and sit around in a cafe because the cafe is exorbitantly expensive, a bar exorbitantly expensive. There is no free space for me to just go and hang out with my friends without us maybe being looked upon with suspicion, especially as many of us are ethnic minorities. And so we can't build those connections right now. This book shows you the importance of the connections our main character has made, bonding over many things that may seem mundane to you and I right now. But when he is reflecting on his life, reflecting on how these things have influenced his life, how the connections with the people he has met have influenced his life, it is soul touching, this book. It's a reason it's my favorite book. It's been my favorite book for, it's 2026 now, probably 10 years, maybe 9. It is a wonderful, wonderful read. You will cry. And also the movie adaptation, which again, the movie club viewers got a video all about that. The movie adaptation is pretty good. Like, it's very faithful, well acted, beautiful music. You know, if you're not going to read the book, watch the movie. Up next, we'll be talking about A Wizard from Earthsea. If you're a long-time viewer, you know I am obsessed with these books. Last year, I had a whole month I dubbed as Earthsea Month, where all the videos were about Earthsea. I adore this book series, but we're going to start from the first book, A Wizard of Earthsea. This book is, again, one all about life, living your life, being a contributing, positive person, but also learning from your mistakes, learning to be better, learning to achieve your potential, not in a way where it's like, I am the best, I have to be the best, I am better than everyone else, but actually having humility, actually being able to understand your mistakes, understand what you can do, not just for yourself, but the people around you, and how actually that comes back and benefits you and benefits everyone around you, and how actually that is so much better of a way to live your life than just being very self-centered. Because our main character, Ged, he goes through that. He is self-centered, he is selfish, and the things that happen because of it is just untenably bad. Just straight up evil stuff happening because he is self-centered. And it's kind of a reflection on us. We are in a system which tells you need to get ahead. You need to be the one who achieves. It doesn't matter what your friends are doing, what your community are doing. It is you who have to make money. It is you who has to somehow amass so much money so then you can be financially liberated, instead of, there actually being people working together to ensure everyone together is able to survive and have what they need and have their needs met. What Ged learns through his journey in this book is learning, if I stop being so self-centered, if I actually considered people around me, considered what would help people around me, and actually had the humility to ask for help, to have people with me to be able to go on this journey, I can actually achieve the thing I initially set out to do, but also see the fruits of it be bared so much more than what I initially thought they would be. This book is brilliant. The entire series is brilliant. I have gushed about Earthsea for like 2 years now, since I first started reading the books. I cannot recommend these books enough. Even if you aren't someone who likes fantasy, these books are brilliant. For me, they are better than the Lord of the Rings books. So if those are books that you have read and you're like, oh, these books are great, I personally would think, again, my personal opinion, better than Lord of the Rings. So if you do have the chance to read A Wizard of Earthsea, please do. Don't watch the movie. Do not watch the Studio Ghibli movie, please. I know it's Studio Ghibli and people are like, wow, it's got to be great. It is the movie where Hayao Miyazaki walked out on it because his son worked on it and he was like, my brother, this isn't good. So don't watch the movie, please. Unlike the first book we spoke about, don't watch this movie. Please, please, please read the books. And the final book we're going to be talking about is a non-fiction book, which is 24/7 by John Carey. This book is, I think, the distillation of what I feel is the core reason I am making this video. 24/7 basically gets to the crux of all of the issues I have been talking about in this video. It is all about how our society has been so funneled, I think is the best way to say it, funneled into being all about maximizing productivity, maximizing income, maximizing profits, maximizing growth. Whenever you hear growth on the news, it is nonsense. It is not a real thing. It is something they use to justify exploiting us. That's a whole other video I could probably make. But 24/7 talks about basically how we have sacrificed so many parts of our life, have even sacrificed sleep to be able to make money. And the thing is, all this money made, you and I aren't seeing it. It is the ruling classes. It is the ultra wealthy, the ultra rich, who we have seen, literally seen in the past couple of weeks. They do not care about us as humans in the slightest. They see us as cattle. And so we have given up our sleep. We have given up our in-person communities. Not to say that online communities are like inherently bad, but in-person community is maybe a little bit more better for you, I suppose. We have given up our uniqueness. You know, even when you just, again, like I was talking about the internet, if you look about the internet, it is very bland, it is very samey. There's no more microsites. Actually, there are microsites. There are YouTubers that make videos all about them. They are wonderful and brilliant and very creative, but it's lost its flavor. You know, everything has been crushed and squashed into this idea of maximizing productivity, maximizing everything, being as fast as possible, making as much money as we can. We have people working 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet, people doing gig work, people not sleeping 8 hours a day, people working 7 days a week. For what? To be able to just get by. To be able to just get by so then the ultra wealthy can skim most of your productivity, most of your labor off, and can go off and do the heinous things we have seen them do over the past few weeks. Well, what they've been doing for generations and generations, but coming to light in the last few weeks. This book really goes into that. It is really a distillation of why I'm making this video. It is truly, we do not live lives that are for humans anymore. We live lives that are basically mechanical robots, which is basically why they want to replace us with actual mechanical robots and AI, because they are not going to complain like some of us do. Your life is worth so much more than being online 24/7 to work. It is worth so much more than you losing your sleep because, oh my God, I need to get a quarterly report in. Oh my God, I need to sell X amount of stuff at work tomorrow so I don't lose my job. Oh my God, I need to ensure that this building is finished building, or else my foreman is going to come and scream at me and dock my pay. You are worth so much more than that. Our lives, all our whole life has been built in such a way to force us into this cycle of growth, work, productivity. And even that, even me talking about this, there are people who are using these thoughts to make you actually do that even more and continue the cycle. You will have people on this platform who will listen to me saying you are worth more than your paycheck, you are worth more than your work, and be like, yes, you're worth more than your work, so why don't you go off and start a business? Why don't you go off and start your own corporation, and then you can just get other people to do it? No, that is wrong. That is the cycle. That is them trying to turn you into the bourgeoisie. You should not do that. Not to say that having your own business is inherently bad in the case that you are doing it to sustain yourself, especially in the system that we're working in, but it is so easy to slip up and become the person that makes other people's lives the life you don't want to live. You do not want that. That is not what the goal in our lives should be. Our goal in our lives should be to basically work as a community and work as a society to ensure the needs of all around us are met, and all of those around us, frankly the globe, because we are a globalized society, can live in dignity. That is what we should be pursuing. So these books will inspire you, obviously. You going off and reading these books is a nice step to take. But I don't want you to stop there. I don't want you to read before What If Cats Disappeared from the World and think, wow, that's so lovely, that's beautiful, now let's get back to work. I want you to actually sit and consider, wow, actually, yeah, am I living my life in a way that people around me will actually realize that I've done something for them? Am I living my life in such a way that there is value and connection there? When you're reading A Wizard of Earthsea, I don't want you to just be like, damn, Ged had a rough time, didn't he? I want you to think, actually, where can I see myself in Ged? Where can I improve? Where can I go off and seek help from those around me? Where can I help people around me? And when you read 24/7, I don't want you to just be depressed and crushed by it, because it is so easy to do that. Do not worry, I did that myself when I read it. But to actually be like, yeah, that isn't how life should be, that isn't how I should work. How do I change that? And I'm not telling you quit your job, stop going to work. That would be horrible advice from me. But if you are working, if you do have to continue to work, where do you find that balance? Where do you find actually, where can I make a change in my workplace? Can I organize with people that I work with? Can I actually get my rights fully realized when it comes to my workplace? When I leave work, am I disconnecting from work? Am I leaving work and being able to go and do things with my community? Do I organize? Do I just go to a book group? Do I take music classes, exercise classes, anything? Even those actually have been monetized, so it's very difficult to do as well. It is all, life is contradictions, man. Dialectical materialism, life is contradictions. But you need to try and live that life that is a good one. And a good one doesn't mean luxury, doesn't mean the latest trends, the latest fashion, becoming the exploiter. That is not a good life. A good life is one where you and those around you have your needs met and you can live in dignity. Okay, so that was way more serious than I was expecting it to be, but I stand by everything I have said in this video. So you can pick up the books in the description down below, although yes, I do get a kickback when you buy them. You can just get them from your local library if you want to, or go to a secondhand shop as well, support like a smaller business in that sense. If you do want to support me in another way, you can become a member, like I mentioned, from as little as £1 a month. The £1 tier gets you access to the book club and movie club videos, but then there is the higher tier which gets you even more access to further videos, behind the scenes stuff, getting to have a say on the channel and shaping the channel and how it grows. But if not, thank you for getting to this point in the video. I really appreciate it. If you did leave a tiger emoji in the description, in the comments down below, just so I know that you've got on here. But please Do read these books if you can. If not, try and take what I said to heart. Try and live a good life, one where you and everyone around you's needs are met and you can live a life of dignity. Thank you for watching, and I hope you read a great book today.